this first recipe, I've already peeled and diced up a medium sweet potato, a whole pound of Brussels sprouts, one whole red onion, a handful of radishes. I just cut them in half, and then I use about half a cup of garbanzo beans. I laid them all out on my silicone baking sheet, and now I'm going to add in some black pepper. You can use also just some parchment paper if you don't have a silicone baking sheet, but if you're serious about eating oil-free, silicone baking sheets are the way to go. And usually I love to use my garlic powder, so there's no surprise here. I'm going to add in my garlic powder on top of my veggies. Some onion powder. And then to finish it off, I'm going to add in some smoked paprika. I've preheated my oven to 450 degrees, and I'm going to be cooking these for about 12 minutes. In the meantime, I'm going to start my maple Dijon dressing, and it's just 1 part maple syrup and 1 part Dijon mustard, so you can put as much or as little as you want in it. Just mix it together and add it to your beautiful bowl. I put my veggies on top of a bed of mixed greens, but you can use rice if you like, or any other vegetable or starch base. In the second recipe, I'm just going to be using a handful of gold potatoes, washing them and dicing them with the skin on, adding them into my metal steamer tray, and I already have a little bit of water in the bottom of my pan so it can steam perfectly. Adding in my veggies so that they can steam as well. I'm adding half of a head of cauliflower, a whole red pepper, and half of a yellow onion. That way, when they steam, I can take them out sooner than I would the potatoes because they're going to take a little longer to cook. Once my veggies are steamed, I'm going to add them to my blender. Adding in a few cloves of garlic and a handful of fresh basil, and then the juice of half of a lemon. The potatoes are done, they're nice and tender and ready to be mashed. So I removed the potatoes from the steamer tray, but I kept the water in the pan so that I can add some later on when I'm mashing to make the potatoes creamier without adding any extra calories or fat to it. I'm adding my veggies to my pan that I'm going to be dry sauteing them. So I minced up some garlic, a half of an onion, and then a bunch of mushrooms, and once that was kind of cooked through, I went ahead and added in an entire bag of spinach and let that steam. Starting with my veggies, I'm just going to dice up and peel a whole zucchini, a few stalks of celery, and then peeling and chopping up about 3 carrots and a whole onion. Adding them into my Instant Pot. I'm using a 6-quart Instant Pot, and this is the quickest way that I know to cook soup. And adding in the veggies first, and then I'm going to be adding in the rest of the ingredients in a little bit. Using a handful of russet potatoes, I'm going to wash them, peel them, and chop them into bite-sized pieces, adding them into my veggie blend in my Instant Pot. Red lentils are not only a great source of protein, but they also are a great thickener to any soup. So I'm using about half a pound of red lentils that I've already cleaned and washed. Adding in a heaping tablespoon of dried sage and dried thyme. This will create so much flavor in this soup. And then filling my Instant Pot up to the max line with water. Setting my Instant Pot to manual and for 10 minutes. Once it's all cooked through, I'm going to add in about 2 tablespoons of miso paste. Depending on how much flavor you want to have, you can do usually between 1 to 2 tablespoons, and that's plenty.